Okay, so back when Gen 1 was released, some more beta Pokemon, there was a baby pre-evolved form of Ponyta. It was Capricorn or something like that. It was a Pokemon that was in Gen 2, Gen 1. It was a baby version of Ponyta. It would eventually evolve into Ponyta, and then would also evolve into Rapidash based on its levels. So it's actually very interesting that this Pokemon was it was a baby horse, as you'd expect. If I remember correctly, I think even a baby horse is still strong enough to give a child. Like, you can ride a baby pony as a child, and it can still gallop around without, like, that's how strong a horse is. And hence the name horsepower, like engines and all that. It's really interesting how that term came from that. How much weight a horse can pull and how fast. It's very interesting. It's also really interesting that while the Pokemon itself was scrapped, it was one of the 40 Pokemon that was originally scrapped because of not controversies, but due to cartridge limitations, and it didn't vote on it. So that explains why Ponyta would evolve into Rapidash on around like level 40-ish. That would explain why Ponyta had like a late evolution too. So despite the fact you could catch a Ponyta like late in the game too, so that explains why the Fire Horse really came where it did later on. Rapidash being strong, you found Blaine had one, and I'm trying to think if there was anybody else that ever used one outside of maybe some Ace trainers in the series. I can't really remember how many trainers actually had a Ponyta to begin with, or Rapidash. You catch them at Mount Silver in the Johto region. That's where they originally were found, Mount Silver, and near the end, just on the outskirts of it. I think it's during the daytime. In the nighttime, they don't come out, I believe. I think they're sleeping in the day, in the nighttime. And then they come out in the afternoon when everything's all, bright out and everything. Kind of makes sense. Ponyta was always a Pokemon that, like Rapidash, the faster it ran, it'd be like a flying bullet train. You'd see the flame just picking up on it. And I believe the flame that it uses, it can control the temperature of its body, if I remember correctly. So, like, the fire that you see on it, if it's in a good mood, won't burn you. That was really cool about fire-type Pokemon. They always had that. Either they were too hot or they were too cool. But some of them, I mean, it's not like a Magcargo where you can't even get within vicinity of it. Otherwise, you just burn up because of how hot its internal temperature is versus its external temperature. So there's that. But some of these beta Pokemon, though, there's so many of them that they may have been planned for Gen 1. They might have been developed around Gen 1. And then they were reused in Gen 2 and were even scrapped in Gen 2. And some of these Pokemon have never been reused. So this is another good example of we at least know more than what we've known before because of somebody leaked this stuff on the internet. And so now we know that Ponyta had a pre-evolved baby form, even right around Gen 1. That explains why you could hatch eggs in Gen 2, and Gen 1 didn't really have like breeding mechanics like that yet. But they probably had the idea even before Gen 1 was being developed. Kind of makes me wonder how much different Gen 1 would have been if they would have kept it what it was. But due to popularity and consistency, that's why Pokemon really kept going for as long as it has. And there's different concepts that were scrapped as they went on developing those things too. It's actually worth noting. So, like I said, if I find more stuff, I'll talk about it. But again, subscribe if you're not, and we'll go from there.